We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Tua Tagovailoa and Mike McDaniel and what they did in Week 3 versus the Broncos, the 70-point game. It was truly amazing. The efficiency that Tua was playing with wasn't asked to do, anything crazy like he was in Week 1, but he just did his job to perfection, was, accurate the whole game, wasn't missing, knew where to go with the ball exactly every single play, and then you have Mike McDaniel calling one of the better plays, better games I've seen, from a play caller. It was truly special what he was able to do in the running game. We're going to focus here on the passing game with Tua. But this offense, everything's about timing, spreading things out. Look how the play action, how he gets, such clean pockets. The O-line's playing so much better, too. Got to give credit to the O-line. McDaniel does a really good job of helping them out. Play action, behind the back, pulling with Hunt. It gets, the play action just freezes the defensive line up front, makes them scared. You spread the field horizontally with this behind the back play action, and then everything you just hit vertically down the field. Tua hits his back foot with timing. He's throwing the ball right as Smythe is even with this linebacker. Good anticipation. Smythe in the correct spot. He's a very reliable player, and it was just really impressed with his offense overall. Also expect a Julian Hill video later today. Just a little preview. He was really, really good. Smythe had played every snap basically in the first two games, and they actually split snaps pretty evenly, so Julian Hill pretty much that tight end too. But Tua, Mike McDaniel, just putting on a masterclass, being one of the top head coach QB duos in the NFL. Then they come out, next play, third play of the game, they get the touchdown, similar play action concept. Dolphins come out, run like a Yankee type thing. They like to do this where one guy's running like a dig or a deep over cross type route, and the other one's running the post behind it. Tyreek kind of slows down. You see Tua here reading this play action. Thinks he might want to throw this Broncos cover 6, deep half up there, quarters down here. Tua's kind of just reading this safety. He thinks he might be able to fit this window to Robbie Chosen, who's his first read, but the safety breaks on it. So he comes back, doesn't want to throw this right away because the safety could break and take away this angle to Tyreek. So he stays patient, and then now sees Tyreek is going to come open, finds him. Good job. First of all, great pocket created by, the offensive line there, and McDaniel. That's a really good play to beat quarters, specifically cover 6 too. You see that safety, they break down, and Tua's just done a much better job at not trying to force things in. This whole game, he either would take his check down option when things weren't there, and then deliver passes down the field when they finally opened up, because he had more time than he's ever had in his entire career. Really like the play design, always the motion pre-snap, Craycraft coming across, and they get the slide. First of all, behind the back, everything flows away, and then you get Tyreek Hill coming across the other side. And the reason the defenses don't expect this, because first of all, when usually you have the slide type of concept, that it's either an off-ball tight end or receiver lined up very close. Look where Tyreek's aligned, and they throw this to him. It's actually insane. So you get the behind the back, and it's going to the right, which Tua very rarely does this. So the defense is just not expecting it. And Tyreek, easy pitch and catch, and you just pick up, an easy first down on 2nd and 7, making, it easy just to get, the ball into your best playmaker's hands. It's really exceptional with what Mike McDaniel is able to do, the way he's innovated his offensive scheme. Dolphins, 2nd and 16. I feel like in years past, if you ever saw the Dolphins get a penalty early or a negative play on first down, it was like the drive was over. And now it's they convert it so easily. It's not even fair, how they're able to convert these 2nd and 3rd and longs so consistently. Here, they motion across, get things down, and they get Tyreek behind this. In cover 3, you can see Broncos are very scared of Tyreek Hill deep, and it's all about timing within this offense. Tua in the backfield, he hits that back foot. He's just sort of reading. He sees the linebacker right here, not getting a lot of depth, and now he's just sort of reading 21, who is, if he squeezes this route, you're going to throw the ball with timing. He sees this open space between this box of defenders, a big open space, and the reason people will screenshot this and be look how open Tyreek is. They'll say Tua's only throwing to wide open receivers, which is fair. Sometimes he has to throw to wide open receivers, but it's a combination of the scheme and Tua throwing with so much anticipation. He throws with so much more anticipation than a lot of other quarterbacks in the league. That's why it looks so wide open at times, because other QBs would probably throw this ball a second later, and then it wouldn't look as open once they catch the ball. But that ball's coming out so early. Tyreek Hill knows the exact spot to be. It's a combination of everything from the receivers, the coaching, the QB, the offensive line, everyone just working together. I feel like, people try to discredit one group by crediting the other. It's just a marriage of all these things, and it's really beautiful to see, and I think people need to appreciate that more. Dolphins on 3rd and 4 finally get man-to-man. Did not get a lot of man-to-man in this game. They faced a lot of cover 3, got man-to-man on a couple times where they got like 2-man. But here they get like a cover 1 look. Tua recognizes man-to-man. He peeks to the side, sees this guy carry right here off this. But with Berrios being the number 3, once he sees this defender take Tyreek, he knows he just has Berrios free to the out, because this guy in man-to-man has no chance to make a play on this ball. So just good quick read by Tua. Ball's coming out with anticipation. Him and Berrios be on the same page, and Berrios is a great 3rd down option for this offense. He just converts the 3rd downs. That's pretty much what he's done. I feel like almost all of his catches have been on 3rd down, like at least 90% of them. And that's a huge plus for this offense, because guys like Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle's not playing in this game, get a lot of attention. So love seeing the other pass catchers getting involved. 1st and 17, Dolphins. After another penalty, they actually get man-to-man again here. They had someone opening up back there. But I just like how they set this up. Tua, the behind-the-back play action, the play call, everything's flowing this way. Tyreek Hill gets caught up in all this junk. Things are not super smooth. But I love how Tua stays calm. He has a free rusher in his face. It's one of the only times he's pressured in the game. And he just stays calm. He knows where his options are. If he's able to set his feet here, he probably finds Berrios coming wide open. They just forgot to guard him. But he has to get the ball out quickly. And this is the effect that Tyreek Hill has on the game, even on plays like that shouldn't gain too many yards. He's able to pick up these extra yards after the catch. It's just putting the offense in such an advantageous position. I love watching all of these players work together. And then the first shovel pass touchdown. I broke this down in the A-Chain video yesterday, but I want to focus on some of the other players. A-Chain, first of all, or A-Chan, excuse me. I was saying A-Chain a lot in the video that I recorded, so I was a little used to that. But Devon A-Chan, got to get used to that for sure. But nice to see this sell by Tua, and it's also just the play calling. It's absolutely beautiful down here. The Dolphins haven't really done this before, but the play, we get Tyreek not even motioning, just end around, sell this like it might be a play action initially, get back. Tua's whole body is selling this. This offensive line sort of slides to the right. These two guys go left. It creates this middle opening. Everyone else, the fullback who everyone keys a lot, like gets eyes going this way. It's just flowing in both directions, 2 different ways. Defense doesn't know where to go, and then you get H-Hand just up the middle, finish the run off the pitch. It's just super exceptional play calling scheme, and then execution by all the players. Another great strike to Tyreek down the field. But yeah. Oh, also let me know what other videos you guys want to see this week. I mean, I definitely have plans for sure of guys I want to get to, and there's so much to break down from this game. But I do like this from Tua. Like there's a reason this is wide open. It's a great play call. Broncos going into cover 3 again. Tua pre-snap. Look how he sees that this area is open on the field pre-snap, and then post-snap he's doing the behind-the-back play action where he has to take his eyes away from the defense. And look how much he speeds this up, because he knows he just wants to get this ball to Tyreek Hill. He speeds it up, doesn't sell the play action too long, just sticks that foot in the ground, and is throwing the ball before Tyreek Hill even breaks off that play action. It's that anticipation. Like, I feel like people are not paying attention to that, and that's sort of discrediting this, like, throwing to wide open receivers. There's a reason they're this wide open and look this wide open. It's everyone on the offense that is allowing this to happen, not just like the receivers or not just the play calling. It's a combination of those things. Obviously, Tyreek was down on that play, but just seeing, that extra effort, really like to see that from him. But love how he speeds this up. He knows where he wants to go with this ball, and that ball comes out quickly. You can see it back here. He speeds this up. He goes a lot quicker than he usually does. The footwork, very clean. Ball comes out exactly where he wants to because he's extremely accurate. Tua, seeing split field safeties, knows this could be like cover 2, cover 6, and based on Surtain's alignment, the Broncos will definitely come out and run cover 2 or cover 6. So he sees this, and he thinks it's going to be cover 2 side. It just ends up being cover 2 to both sides of the field, but he's reading Surtain here. Once Surtain, who is the flat defender here, opens up his hips to the inside toward Tyreek, he reads that and just gets the ball out. Seems pretty simple, getting the ball out to Mostert right away, but that is a good, efficient read, knowing where to go with the ball, and the ball's coming out so fast, and just based on pre-snap alignment, that's just knowing the defense, knowing your play calls, and you get that motion, everything's set up, that gets Mostert just a free 8 yards on first down. The very next play to Tyreek Hill, out here on that, post route over the middle, glance, whatever you want to call it. Tua is just reading this defender right here. He sees that it might be single high. If this guy, comes down, he could buzz the middle of the field, be like a robber, or he could get down and be the flat defender. And just based on his alignment, he's guessing that he's going to be flat. These guys are going to be the hooks flat over here. He's just reading it, middle of the field. He points his eyes this way to get this guy to commit. You can see, boom, reset it, manipulate with your eyes, deliver a perfect ball on time to Tyreek Hill. You can see the eyes here, which gets this guy to move. It's manipulation, reset it, and then come back. It also moves the linebackers, and then he throws it right between them. I feel like linebackers gotta hate playing Tua more than most quarterbacks because he is just fooling them with his eyes all game long. And him and McDaniel with his play calling knows exactly what Tua's strengths are, and they take advantage of it. Dolphins get cover 2 man here. He sees the 2 deep safeties. He speeds things up here. Craycraft is his first read. And I like the footwork, like the timing. Everything is usual. Gets a nice quality, look here. But I like his feet in the pocket. Feels some pressure coming off the left side here that he might feel this. So he slides a little to the right and then helps create that throwing lane. And it's just amazing placement. Throwing with this much anticipation, like look at Craycraft. He is ready to throw this ball. Craycraft is still pushing up vertically. To throw with that, like the timing, the chemistry you have to have with all of your wide receivers to be this consistently on point when throwing with anticipation is actually insane. Like so many interceptions happen on these types of throws where you're throwing it before they even break because, you and the wide receiver just aren't on the same page, and then people think it's the quarterback's fault, and usually it's the receiver's fault. But with all of them, like how often this happens throughout a game for them compared to other teams is ridiculous. Really like this play from Tua on third down, just getting through his reads, coming to the bottom of the screen here, doesn't like what he sees. Versus cover 3 from the Broncos, sees that this is getting squeezed right here, sort of his first option, and then his, reading this side of the field, 1, 2, both kind of dead. 2 guys end up going around here, sees all this space open up, comes back to find Tyreek. He's already out-leveraged this linebacker, and as long as Tyreek doesn't float into these guys, he's got enough space to work with. They're on the same page. He sits down, puts it, protects him, throws it low, exactly where you want the ball to be. He's not a one-read quarterback. He obviously excels at doing those things because he's very good pre-snap and he knows where to go with the ball based on what defenses are getting him, so he just gets the ball quickly, and McDaniel's calling great plays, so sometimes he only needs to get to one read, but when he has needed to get to his second and third read in this season, he's looked very comfortable. And no Jalen Waddle this game, and he started 17 of 17, so I don't know if it's the weapons either that people have been talking about, but it is really fun to watch. Then the next 3rd and 3, they just keep converting. He finds Berrios over the middle of the field. I'm not sure why he didn't throw it to Cedric, just going through his progression. He's kind of just reading the mesh point here. Broncos are running cover 3, and I feel like he's just ready to throw to Berrios, who's running the sit behind it. Very common concept for offenses to run, and I feel like once they mesh here, he's just looking it off, finds it, comes back across, finds Berrios over the middle. I like his footwork in the pocket too, the way he's able to go through his reads. His eyes are tied with his feet. I think he just comes off Cedric right as he's about to come open, just processing the information a little too fast. But he also sees Berrios behind this, so he's just waiting for Robbie to clear that out and then finds him. Just another Berrios conversion. Broncos come out in cover 2 here. We get to see Tua find his check down. He gets some pressure on his face. One of the only times he was pressured in this game. Like to see that he didn't force anything down, get it down to the check down. This is an area where I wouldn't say he struggled pretty badly last year, but he definitely, could have been better. One of his areas he could have been better for sure. He's looking at Tyreek. Tyreek's completely taken away here. They have multiple guys undercutting. He's got perfect leverage. Tua could have had time. If he had time, he might have thrown this to Chosen deep down the field. I bet that's probably where he would have gone with it. But then he knows where his check down option is. Fall away, give your running back a chance, and then, Achane making a play on space. One of my favorite Tua throw of the day. Dolphins facing some man-to-man here, which I don't know why teams are playing man-to-man against the Dolphins, but when it happens, Tyreek doesn't even get open here, but this is, you can see his read. He starts at the bottom here, doesn't really like his options, doesn't see this is open. He probably could throw that. Chosen has some action here as well. Sees this safety sort of get down, come across on the tight end, and his eyes are just tied with his feet the whole time. Come back, find Tyreek, fit that, into a keyhole, because that's what he does. That is perfect accuracy in a tight window. You won't see many tighter windows than that. That is amazing throw it, and the pocket presence to find your own space and just deliver an absolute strike over the middle. Broncos on a 3rd and 7 towards the end of the game. This is the Raheem Mostert touchdown. Basically, Tua has 2 options on this play. As you can see, he starts off just reading the safety. There's nothing like too crazy, but you can just see he makes the correct decision. He's just reading this safety. This safety comes down towards the middle of the field, becomes like a robber or whatever. If he doesn't play too high, which he does, he takes away Tyreek. If Tyreek was 1-on-1, he would have thrown that. That was basically the only option. And then come back. You can see how they set this up, the motion out into it for him to block out in space for Mostert. And Mostert just makes an excellent play, who I will also break down at some point during this week because he was playing out of his mind. Last play they're going to break down, also in the H-Chan video, just the next shovel pass. Nothing too crazy, but it just creates so much room. The setup on these plays, it feels like they almost gave up at this point. There's nothing really crazy to break down. It's very similar to the first one, but this time, they motion behind pre-snap. Fullback goes out into the flat. They set this up, get him the ball, and let him go to work. All the other linemen are flowing that way. Just beautiful play calling by McDaniel. They did it again. Love watching this film. It was a historic performance, 70 points. Like, what was happening? That game was insane. I can't believe it just kept going up. And they could have broken so many records. Like, the whole first team didn't play in the 4th quarter. They still scored a couple more touchdowns, but wow. Really, really excellent work from the entire offensive players that played in the game and coaches. Got to give everyone some credit. They all deserve it. I think times are changing, and it's truly special down in Miami. I have never seen anything like it. So if you guys know the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe.